Right, well, welcome, ladies and gents. Velma is the third worst rated TV show in IMDb history. Got 1.3 out of 10. This is an unmitigated disaster. And interestingly, apparently it's looking like it's going to get a second season. So, yay, I guess. It is so odd. It's very, very odd. A literal unmitigated disaster. It is a joke. And the fact that David Zaslav would look to greenlight a second season is beyond me. You know, we thought he was a businessman. What is going on? But then again, it might actually just be that there's rumours of it because they want people to keep watching it. And then they'll just cancel it at last minute. But this article says Velma, which explores the backstory of the beloved animated character. I mean, Velma's not beloved. Velma is part of a group that is beloved. You know, each with their own archetype, and without them, you know, each of them just falls apart. And they've fundamentally changed the archetypes of these characters, so they're not the same people anymore. It's dumb. It's been panned by critics who say the new show lacks the charm of the original. There's no nuance at all. It is just out and out ham-fisted crap. It's got terrible audience ratings. Awful. That's following just 4 episodes being released. So it's now the third worst rated show in IMDb history. Critics say the teen characters are unlikable, over-sexualized, and altered beyond recognition from their original cartoon predecessors. So they fundamentally just make a new show. Mindy, you want a vehicle to explore your sexuality, right? And also your incredible unlikableness. Then just make new characters. Okay? Just make a new show. So Mindy Kaling's panned Scooby-Doo spin-off of Velma, without Scooby-Doo in it, by the way. Why? It's now the third worst rated TV show in IMDb history, having aired just 4 episodes of its first season. It's not going to go up. The TV show is marketed as the origin story of Velma Dinkley, played by Kaling, who is described in the tagline as the unsung and underappreciated brains of the Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. gang. How was she underappreciated and unsung as the brains? We all knew she was the brains because, again, shocker, because she's an archetype, she wore fucking glasses. So we knew she was the brains, you idiots. Because this show originally was for children. And generally speaking, people with glasses were seen as brainy. It's dumb, but that's how it was framed. Now, while touting itself as an original and humorous spin, I mean, that's a stretch. The lack of self-awareness is staggering here. Many fans believe the spin-off has strayed too far from the source material and characters described as unlikable and over-sexualized teenagers. You've literally got Fred being this posh, tough guy who is hiding a secret. What's the secret? He's got a small penis. Why? Why is that in this? So odd. Now, while the show garnered a Rotten Tomatoes rating of 11% following its premiere, the last 2 episodes have seen it fall even further to just 6%. On IMDb, the show has a 1.3 out of 10 rating, making it nearly the worst reviewed TV program ever in history. Again, people have had enough of this crap. They've had enough. Mindy, you're nothing. You're no one. Leave. Get off the air. No one's interested in your crap. This is pretty evident now. Clearly. To many critics of the show, claims the characters have lost any semblance of their original personalities. You don't even have Shaggy being called Shaggy. It's Norbert. Or Norville or something like that. Ridiculous. So Fred is depicted as a rich kid, insecure in his masculinity, and hiding the fact that he's got a tiny pee-pee. You've got Daphne, a drug dealer. What the fuck? And Shaggy, as a nerd, worried he's a beta male. And Velma is a lesbo. So what is going on? These are fundamentally not the characters that were released before. Just make new characters. So another big complaint is that the new show, or the new characters within the show, are simply unappealing because everything's just too on the nose. So the reviews coming in. You got one of the best parts of SD is the gang's sense of family and friendship. They love each other. They were literally a family. Well, they weren't, well, not a literal family, but it was the archetype, and that was that. It was family messaging. Now the new Velma show is appalling to change that core relationship. They all hate one another, basically. It's awful. So two other TV shows ranked lower than Velma are Pogmentary. Never heard of that. That's a documentary about Paul Pogba. And then Ist Bu Benin Masalim, a show about the rise of a Turkish teen star. Two shows you've never even heard of because they're so bad. This show you've heard of because it's so bad. So in IMDb's reviewing system, 1 is the lowest available rating, putting Velma just 0.3 points above the minimum score possible. Velma's disastrous reception, poor reviews, comes in sharp contrast to another recent spin-off with a spunky female heroine and high school setting, which is Wednesday, which was not woke, remotely, was very charming, and was telling very good stories. Look at this crap. I can't show too much because HBO, Warner Brothers, loves a copyright claim about Velma. So the recently released Wednesday, it's huge. It is huge. It's achieved 752.52 million hours. Unbelievable. Velma. Apparently Velma premiered as the most watched original animated show from HBO Max. I don't believe that. But its dire ratings have since sunk its viewer numbers as the episodes continue to be released weekly in pairs until the season finishes on February 9th. Critics, however, are having a field day, of course, happy to make content about garbage because it needs to be lambasted. Needs to be. But it's just hated all over the place. You know, the sad thing is an adult Scooby-Doo adaptation could really work if they actually stayed true to the characters and the mystery gang's dynamic instead of being edgy for the sake of being edgy. The thing is, it's not even just, it's just so on the nose, it's not even comical. I can't believe that. Joined by the underappreciated brains of Velma and Daphne. A mean girl orphan who deals drugs. Oh my god. Fuck's sake. This is the tagline. Fred, a personification of mediocre white richness with teeny whittle privates. Why are you talking about these? Why? Why are you talking about these people's penises? It's so odd. So there's Norville, Shaggy. Oh, it's so dumb. Everyone's unlikable. They weren't originally. Just ridiculous. Velma doesn't have a great relationship with any of them. She called Fred rude, while Daphne, she called a bitch in graffiti. Why is this even a thing? Why is this even a thing? So there you go. 3rd worst rated show in TV history. What a joke.